They came, they saw, they said no. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who turned down Game of Thrones.
Together, we will restore the Seven Kingdoms to glory.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we've rounded up an ice and fire selection of actors and actresses who were offered parts in the HBO hit series but declined them. We haven't included performers who auditioned but weren't successful, as this list focuses only on those who willingly spurned the Seven Kingdoms.
This doesn't change anything. You're still my brother. You're still infuriating.
Number 10, Jonathan Pryce. Yeah, everyone knows Jonathan Pryce is in Game of Thrones, playing the High Sparrow in seasons 5 and 6.
I serve the gods. The gods demand justice.
But his eventual casting came years after he rejected an early role in the show's first season. Frustratingly, Pryce can't recall the part he was originally asked to play, but he has revealed that he felt the show wasn't for him because he wasn't a fan of the fantasy genre.
Will you fight to defend your faith against heretics and apostates?
Clearly, he was wise enough to change his mind when a second chance presented itself.
There will be no walk of atonement.
Number 9, Perdita Weeks.
Please. Sister. No. No.
Having starred as Mary Boleyn in the first 2 seasons of The Tudors, Perdita Weeks was in line to play Rosalind Frey, Edmund Tully's bride at the now infamous Red Wedding.
I hope I'm not a disappointment to you.
But she declined in favour of a prominent part in The Heretics, a gory 13th century drama that enjoyed its fair share of hype, but was never actually made. Issues over the 6-month shooting plans in Romania led to The Heretics being scrapped, leaving Weeks to try and beg for her Thrones role back. But it was too late. Number 8, Charlie Hunnam. A self-confessed Thrones fan, Charlie very nearly copped a cameo in the series, but couldn't commit to filming because of a shooting schedule clash. Again, no one's exactly certain on who he was supposed to play or when he was supposed to appear, though there's some speculation that he was billed for season 7 and was unavailable because he was working on King Arthur.
You're not gonna bother about me?
True or not, Hunnam has admitted that he hopes the show comes calling again one day.
Mr. Kelty, I think you should find my mind perfectly fit. And still open, thank heavens.
Number 7, Jamie Campbell Bower. With parts in Harry Potter and the Twilight Saga, Jamie's certainly no stranger to world-famous big-budget franchise roles, but this was one that got away. Jamie did feature in the Game of Thrones pilot as the ill-fated Sir Waymar Royce. But when his scenes were earmarked for a reshoot, he was busy doing other things, namely starring as King Arthur in Camelot. He's more a victim of circumstance than most of today's list, but he still sidestepped a Westeros role regardless.
He's telling the truth, Arthur.
He can't be, how can he be?
Number 6, Jennifer Ehle. Another from the series' infamous unaired pilot episode, Jennifer Ehle originally starred as Catelyn Stark, a role which ultimately went to Michelle Fairley in amongst a complete overhaul of the script and cast.
All these years and I still feel like an outsider when I come here.
She has implied that she walked away to focus on other things, but some fans speculate that she may have been forced out the door. Either way, Fairley absolutely nails it. Tamsin Merchant was also majorly involved at first, playing Daenerys Targaryen, before Emilia Clarke became the mother of dragons we all know, love, and are a little bit scared of. Number 5, Dominic West. While West is rumoured to have been offered the role of Mance Rayder, who was introduced at the beginning of Season 3, he simply couldn't squeeze the job into his then jam-packed schedule.
You suck.
That's a more defendable hypothesis.
With a part as Noah Sulliway in Showtime's The Affair, to concentrate on, West was forced to turn Thrones down, clearing the way for Ciarán Hinds.
Thanks for the reminder.
Anytime.
Of course, as with most of today's entries, it's difficult to imagine this character convincingly played by anyone else.
So, you're Ned Stark's bastard.
Number 4, Ian McNeice. For our final visit to that pilot episode that never was, Ian originally played Illyrio Merpatis, a Magister of Pentos. Had he stayed on, it would have been him gifting Daenerys with the dragon eggs in what becomes a pivotal scene.
Dragon's eggs, Daenerys, from the Shadowlands beyond Ashai.
But when reshooting rolled around, McNeice was double booked and had to back out. The reason? He'd bagged another recurring role in another massive TV series, Doctor Who. The actor appeared throughout the 5th season of the sci-fi show, playing Winston Churchill opposite Matt Smith's 11th Doctor. So, swings and roundabouts.
TARDIS key. The one you just took from the Doctor?
Oh, she's good, Doctor.
Number 3, Gillian Anderson. She's best known as one half of Mulder and Scully in The X-Files, but Gillian Anderson might have been a leading figure in Game of Thrones had the telefates fell differently.
Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials?
Logically, I would have to say no.
The actress has openly spoken about shunning the HBO series because she didn't want to spend extended periods of time away from her family.
And you'll come in with me?
No way. Not a chance.
A fair explanation, but the revelation has long led fans to contemplate who Anderson could have played, with Cersei Lannister leading the way, closely followed by Melisandre.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Number 2, Brian Cox. He may be a British acting great, but Brian Cox freely admits the silly mistake he made with Game of Thrones.
Don't lecture me about war. This already is a war.
Cox was approached at the beginning of the series for what's rumoured to have been a very major role, but refused because he wasn't offered enough money.
I ran this country and this war for more than 2 years before these Americans even turned up.
Given all that's happened since, it's a fair bet that the wages would have significantly risen, and pretty quickly, and Cox concedes that he'd love to have been involved in hindsight. Still, there's no guarantee that whoever he might have played would have even survived to see the bigger wage bills anyway. A lot of the originals didn't.
There are no answers that way, Wolverine!
Number 1, Mark Strong. According to various reports, Mark Strong was all but confirmed to star as Stannis Baratheon, but he dropped out in favour of another project.
What happened?
Never mind, just get going.
And seeing as Stannis seemed a major contender for the Iron Throne for most of his run in the series, you'd have to hope that Strong's other offer was worth the sacrifice, but it probably wasn't.
You told me your magic requires a king's blood.
Yes.
I'm the one true king.
You are. But there are others with your blood in their veins.
Though the actor hasn't commented on the situation himself, it's believed he bailed on Thrones for Low Winter's Son, an AMC crime drama that was axed after just one series. Ouch.
I do the job that keeps you all safe, so I don't want to hear about cash on hand. It's my money!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.